many, many times. But we're here at French restaurant. They supply one of our wineries, Rosello, Casa Vinicola Rosello. They're based about 30 kilometers just south of Alba in a beautiful little village called Portamiglia. But yeah, if you want to check them out, either on their Facebook or Instagram page, yeah, say it's Rosello, or double S, E double L, oh, no single S, no single L, double S handle, Rosello Winery, so they're in Portamiglia, half an hour, 30 kilometers south of Alba. The roads are pretty crazy. It's like the roller coasters up the mountain and down the mountain and back up the mountain and down the mountain again. We've got the chefs. The chefs here today. They're pretty crazy. It's been a very, very busier day than what we expected. The reservations are crazy. So we are going to have a bit of a sneak peek into the kitchen. We're not going to be allowed in there for too long, I don't think. The chef is very stressed anyway. He doesn't need any more stress. So I think the main guys are going to be left the cooking duties to you guys today. So much for us. But we will be able to, when we have our pasta appearing at the table, we'll be able to grate some of the truffles, some of the confitto, and make you all envious. Make you all very envious, and pair it with the wines from Rosello, of course, from Giulio. But yeah, that's about for us today. It's like as I say, it's we're not going to take a sneak peek into the kitchen to see the chef is very, very stressed out. They've been crazy here. It's hard to, isn't it? It's hard to describe to people just how crazy it's been. You know, even walking through the town is a mission in itself. To walk like a kilometer takes you 20 minutes. It's it's pretty crazy, but good crazy, a very, very good crazy. So there's no complaints here. The food and the drink here of this region of Piedmont, the Piemontese people, the hospitality is beautiful. For those of you that are going to take trips to Italy and want to discover this beautiful, beautiful region, there's plenty of places to stay. Obviously, with our producers, Giulio, they actually have apartments that you can stay in. They have holiday homes. People can rent out to enjoy their time here. It's definitely something which I recommend people should look at rather than the usual suspects of Tuscany. Who needs Tuscany when you can have Piedmont?
I couldn't agree with him more. Having been to Tuscany a couple of times, I would highly recommend this region. The same experiences you have there, so much more offered in particular. And we have a gift because we also have Ryan here. We actually have Julia with us today. So we're getting the food. Julia's going to take us through a little bit about how he would recommend the wine is specifically paired for the foods that we're having. I must say, I've tasted most of his wines. Tomorrow we'll have to taste the rest of them. But there are many other producers here, of which Ryan's been enjoying from hidden vines, just discovering a point new lettuce.
Yeah.
So to bring some more wine into the UK, and hopefully a little bit more into Canada. We're building some relationships here. Lastly, we need to get out anybody that you know. We have a speaking with Bill Vance. Hi, Bill. I know the World Wine Festival is coming up in Moncton soon, and I think this is definitely a very
So we're going to show them a little sneak peek of the kitchen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then they can start cooking. We'll let you guys, we'll show you a little sneak peek of the kitchen here. And you guys can carry on and say as soon as we're ready with our pass at the table, and obviously the truffles are where's my grater? You have my grater here ready to go. This is actually really important. What's important, not so much the wood, you can use any wood. It can be stainless steel, it can be whatever you want. What's important is what's obviously inside, it's the blade. Blade is the most important thing. Because you need a really, really sharp blade. Sharper the blade, the better. Get those really clean, high slices of the vegetable. So when the idea, especially on the festival, for me, my purpose would be a beautiful risotto. And one risotto that is sort of melting into the food, the chocolate, you'll see it disintegrate in a beautiful way before your eyes. But that's what's important is the blade. The blade has to be, and you can see it on the back. I'll hold that to the camera. You can see that they make it very easy very simple to slice the blades. So, you know, as soon as that blade feels that it needs to be changed, it needs to be sharpened, they got the quick little screw on the back there. That's what it's made for. It's you know, it's made for a purpose, and it's very important purpose in slicing those beautiful trumpets. You get the smell for it?
Oh. Please.
Yeah, all the tables, all the customers are here. There's some beautiful passengers. So she's going to be
Okay, when the waitress just came out, she got a small scale, and then it's now
show
taking
it, just turn it.
to knuckle over.
Have a big look, guys.
So here they are, showing the truffle. Beautiful. All right. I'm gonna go, you guide me. I'm gonna go back.
The chefs are just down in the other section, but this is where they do all the pasta dishes. You can see down here. They only have a little small kitchen. The quality of the food that comes out here is amazing. It's so surprising. They don't need to have massive workspaces. To have massive workspaces, it's not going to happen in little cities such as Alba. You know, they really make the most of what they have. They have to use every single piece of that kitchen to its full possible capacity to do what they can in every possible way. You can spin around and have a look at the chef now.
Yeah.
See what the chef is up to. Well, I could go back in place. You can see the beautiful way that they're doing the pasta. The presentation is very important. You can see it's not just simply a case of placing a, you know, dumping pasta into a dish. This is carefully thought out. The chef really wants to have the presentation-wise looking the part. So when they do the local fresh-made pasta here, they're just pouring on a little bit of like a butter sauce. Very simple, very elegant. But oh my God, the flavors are amazing. So you can just follow them because I think they're
Have a
going to
look at
get
the bread bar.
yeah, plenty of bread.
Plenty of bread. Plenty of bread. And we'll make sure that we get that truffle to our table to have a look at.
So they're just having the answer. So I think want to pass it over to someone else for now.
Wow.
And then we'll come back with the wine and the pasta.
That sounds good. So Heidi, I'm gonna bring you over to our table. So be joining you. We're gonna go over to you so that you can share and tell us what Italian recipe you're cooking for us today. And then Diane, we're gonna pop over and visit you right after Heidi gets her recipe started. So we'll probably go back and forth to Heidi every once. And then we'll be excited to be enjoying. And do remember, it is 2 p.m. here. So we're going to be enjoying our food and wine pairing. So Heidi, are you ready to take over and tell us a little bit what's cooking in your kitchen?
Yes, okay. Thank you, Michelle. The last night I prepared a tiramisu dessert. It's a original Italian dessert. I need to share when I have possible the video with the step to step.
It's all set there, Heidi. If you want to share your screen.
Yes, I need.
That looked delicious, by the way.
Thank you, Roslyn. Very lovely you have the best for people.
Very nice. Looks good. Play video. What's that you're putting in the bowl, Heidi?
This is the mix for the prepare the base, the tiramisu.
Okay. Those are the flour base?
Coffee flour.
Coffee flour. Okay. And then that was eggs that you put in as well?
Yes,
And in water?
yes.
Okay. How many eggs did you put in?
There's a lot of silence.
I see that. So how many eggs did you put in, Heidi?
Heavy cream.
Oh, okay.
I substitute the egg yolks for heavy cream.
Was that vanilla?
Banana, sí. Yes.
And that was heavy cream and vanilla. And now what are you putting in?
Sugar, white sugar powder.
White sugar powder?
Yes.
Okay. Aha, now what, is that the cake?
Yeah, this is the case I prepare first, but I prefer submerged in the coffee for its taste more coffee flavor.
Okay. So you put, is that in the liquid, is that just coffee and water or just coffee?
Coffee only.
Oh, coffee only. And that the cake was the one that you baked? How long did you bake the cake for?
Yes.
How long did you bake the cake in the oven for?
13 to 14 minutes, depends.
Okay.
Yes, to 176 degree.
Okay. I've often had this dessert, but never made it, Heidi. Thank you for showing this.
Thank you for watching. And then this is the tiramisu portion.
All right, everybody, you guys should, I'm asking the question. We cannot hear, so it was a vanilla coffee cake. Thank you. Guys, so good to see you. Morocco. Hi, Snowball.
Yeah, Michelle Alcorn showed it.
So here's our audience.
So they come.
Around the world. Morocco, Dominican Republic, Japan, and then we're going to talk to Diane Savoy here in a minute from which is the French Acadian part of our province. She's one of the individuals that helped bring the slow food to my area of Canada, which was founded here. So she's one of the regional experts in that. She's a professional chef, trained chef. And I think Diane's going to share.
Ciao, everybody.
That recipe looked delicious. Unbelievable. We could see it, we just couldn't hear. If you can imagine. And this is Julio from Rosello, and we're getting our in chef order, which the chef will be bringing out. And obviously we're going to feature some white truffle as well. So because it's harder for us here, hopefully you can hear us okay. We're gonna take Diane good for the feedback on the other side. So we're gonna work over with Diane for a minute and have her just talk a little bit about, and it's interesting because I brought one of the products. Actually, I brought several products from the amazing Buckfish Farmers Market. I know Diane's the one that spearheaded a few, and a lot of the things that we're doing in Canada is really, this is where we focus to start with. And it's about food sustainability, it's about knowing where your food is grown. And the other thing that we want to talk a lot about is mixing root to tip. So how do you maximize all of it? And I know last year we did a feature where I made a carrot top pesto. And this is an amazing product. Can you imagine? It's a carrot top powder full of vitamins. So all those carrot tops to be able to throw in the garbage, properly redone, can be used into amazing products. And I know I'm going to have a chance to live with Diane in the first weekend of November, because we're going to be hearing from the Buckfish Farmers Market for a live meeting. That's gonna be absolutely amazing. And I think we're gonna be doing pumpkins, if I'm not mistaken, Diane, or something, you know, of course, our fall harvest season. So we're gonna talk, we're gonna get Diane to talk for a minute, and then we'll get Julia to tell us a little bit about the white wine that he selected that we're about to have with our dinner as well. You want to tell us about that white wine? Or sure. We'll get him. There we go. We're gonna put him on the table. Tell us what we have. Yeah, can everybody hear?
So we're drinking like a Chardonnay from winery. We are located in Catalania, in the higher parts of Catalania. So southern of the Piemonte region, southern Piemonte region. The Chardonnay already shaped us.
Julia was busy what we like to be eating for our main light lunch. We always make the joke on the light lunch. The light lunch only lasts around 4 hours. So wish you well. We might still be here at 6 p.m. Oh, Canadian time, 2 p.m. Who knows? But I think they were saying the Chardonnay from the Lange region, about Piedmont, the top part. It's beautiful, great place for growing Chardonnay. Whereas I've been going since 1920. Obviously, you know, you were pretty quick on maths. Early on a Sunday morning in Canada, obviously over 100 years now, 100 years, 2 years, it's 102 years, we're celebrating this year. Four generations of years. Cheers, guys. I heard cheers. Cheers, everyone.
All right, Diane. We're gonna pop over to you. And I know everybody's envious right now. And you should be. But this is it's about being shared. You know, the volume's been up. We're so proud to have somebody as you doing this adventure with us. But I'm also very excited to have Diane Savoy, and professional chef from our region. And I was explaining to the gentleman, the Canadian region in our province. It's really fun to be here and helping people better understand. So that's been a bit of a my goal here, is to help more people understand Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, and not Canada. And there's a whole lot more of our world to explore. Just like I had never been to Alba in this region in Italy. I see Trina on there, and I messaging her, and I can guarantee you, we'll be returning for this festival. So, Diane, I'm going to hit us on you. We're going to go over and hear a little bit more about the products and what you're working with today. Thank you so much. I just need to unmute. Okay, hear me. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
You're on mute.
Yeah, he's originally from Korea. One of my friends from
I'm Diane Savoy, and I'm jealous that you're sitting with so many handsome men behind there. I'm Diane Savoy, and from Bucters, New Brunswick, and I would like to say that the origins of my Savoy name is from the Piedmont area, the Savoyas. And I found that out many years ago when I started training as my chef career. So I'm associated with the Bucters Farmers Market. We follow the principles of slow food, which is good, clean, and fair. I started hearing about slow food years ago, and it totally fascinated me. I wanted to be part of the global community. I went to Turin for a Terra Madre, and I brought back the slow food movement to New Brunswick. We have a wonderful market. Last night, we had a harvest dinner, and in the tradition of slow food, we were celebrating the chefs and the farmers of the Bookers Farmers Market. We had a wonderful night, wonderful, wonderful night, and it was a wonderful menu highlighting all our stuff. At the end of the evening, we had made, Annie Savoie had made some eau de vie with our ground cherries, which were so plentiful this year. Let me see. Yes, here we are. Yes, our ground cherries. And I had made two chocolate truffles, because I'm a chocolatière, with the same eau de vie. So a marzipan with the eau de vie. But today, what I want to talk to you about is the Art of Taste, which is a program by Slow Food that catalogs, it's an international catalog of foods that are threatened by industrial standardization. So in order to preserve the culture of food in different places in Canada, we apply, all over the world, people apply to the Art of Taste so that there is a place globally that keeps these traditions, these seeds alive. And in our area, we have two products that are in the Art of Taste. One is the Summer Savory. Now, the Summer Savory came from the Mediterranean area at the beginning, and then it made it over the Atlantic, and the Acadians started cultivating it. And recently, a few years ago, we found someone that still had the original ancient Acadian savory, summer savory. And so they started to cultivate it. And then Jocelyn Gauvin from Cocagne started to cultivate it, entered it into the Ark of Taste and several seed banks. And we now have access to this wonderful, wonderful summer savory. It's the main ingredient. It's the ingredient that has to be in our Acadian fricot, which is a chicken dumpling stew with summer savory. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the other one that went into the Ark of Taste is the salted onions. So these are special onions called oignon à patate. And they are just cut up in chunks. Here, I'll show you, and put in a salted brine. And we use this in all our soups, our stews, everything. And even if it's an onion, once it's fermented like this or brined like this, it has very, very unique taste. And maybe next week I can show you what I do with it in an Italian way, if that's what you'd like. And ask me some questions, Michelle. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So ask me some questions.
I can hear you. It is a bit noisy here, but I can hear most of it. You know what's really amazing? We were talking about that ancient summer savory.
Yes.
Some of that. So your market, Michelle, remember when I saw you right left. And so we've got a package that.
Oh, you too. Oh, that's
for you guys. We brought it. Because I also know that such a herbs that it's, you know, I even we have friends in Ontario. They bring me some summer savory. So it's I think that I appreciate that region.
Yes, well, you know, Acadians all over the world. There are Acadians all over the world. So, of course, they want their something. Yes. And it's a wonderful herb. I'm going to read you what the properties are. Medicinal properties, it is stimulating, it's an aphrodisiac, tonic, mineral antiseptic, antihelminthic, carminative, antispasmodic, anti-flatulent. That's why I put it in my beans. And I think that's why in the Mediterranean area. And in Germany, where they do use the summer savory, it's always in bean dishes. So they must have known years and years and years ago that it was an anti-flatulent. I thought that was so fascinating. It helps with the digestion, it increases perspiration, and stimulates the uterus and the nervous system. So all that in one tiny little herb. So, yeah. And I make a very local Acadian style baked beef with molasses, pork, and all that. And I started putting summer savory in the rest. I do handle summer savory. I use the beeswax and Pond's honey. I think you met Mr. Pond, Brian Pond.
And Diane, what's one recipe?
Well,
I was going to say, one of the recipes I've been explaining here, I forget what do you use that summer savory? And from home, it's chicken fricot.
yes.
Right? And in Hakeem, we were just in Morocco, and I see some of our Moroccan friends on here. I'm so excited to join us. And Hakeem was specifically talking about that. And that, because his wife is from Hamilton area. And yeah. So I also left some summer savory for some in Morocco for them to enjoy there. And Hakeem's mom specifically made a dish, and she put some of the summer savory in it. She loved it.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
Of our Moroccan friends, and I'm pretty sure I know Dear and Gerard, they both ended up with some summer savory because we were giving out some of the products. It wasn't the ancient one. I didn't have enough of those. We kept those for our special winery guests. But of course, one of our other great producers.
Yeah.
So sure, and these are light and easy to carry.
Yes, yes. Well, that's a different type of summer savory. It's not the one that okay, the one that's known amongst the Acadians. So the next time you travel, this is the one you have to bring from Jocelyn Gauvin. And also she makes little packets of the seed. And whenever I traveled or whenever anybody traveled for slow food, we would have little bags or little jars of course, you know, at customs, they would say, oh yeah, what have you got in there? So we had to have the story along with it. But it would be nice to see this ancient summer savory planted all over the globe. And it smells so wonderful. It has the most beautiful little pink and purple flowers. It's great to make a border in your garden, and it's wonderfully scented. So that's about summer savory.
It was definitely a difference. I will tell you, when I had the two packages in fall too.
Yeah.
The depth and position, because Ryan and Julio would ask what the ancient art was and valued and appreciated the difference. So I'm really glad that you shared that with us, because people, it's like, one of the reasons why we are talking about wineries right here in a second appointment. His company is called Hidden Minds. And one of the things that he does is source some of the smaller wineries. Again, these Rosello 1920, 4 generations. Honoring the grapes and making sure that they're cut. So I think that, right, Diane, there's that key of knowing and farmer, how it was put in. Here also, I've got some great videos. You have to understand that to irrigate in water is Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the system. Vineyards are up the mountain. So there's not an opportunity to have irrigation and have a system. So you know, some of those, vines are 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. Then they're making sure that they're looking for it. Not unlike that ancient summer savory, what the heart of everything is, which is
Friday. It's started in Italy. It was, they wanted to start a McDonald's at the bottom of the Spanish Steps in Rome. And Carlo Petrini said, if we allow fast food to come in, we are going to lose our traditional eating, growing culture in Italy. We cannot lose that. So he says, instead of fast food, we're going to go slow food. And now it is an international movement of over 1 million people all over the globe. And that's what the whole idea is to stay connected to our real food that comes from the ground or the sky or the ocean. It's, yes, it's the most wonderful movement I have ever been involved in.
So just ask the question, range. You'll be watching this back for the range, just explain all the variations of summer savory piece. But one of the biggest things is about honoring why people find ways to do smaller items. What about their grapes? What about how they're farming and producing that makes it unique and different?
I think I better clear my throat first.
Jealous.
Yeah, that's better. From a Hidden Vines point of view, guys, Hidden Vines UK is, we're very lucky to work with some fantastic wine producers. Obviously, you know, we're joined with Julio here today. And they all share the same philosophies. They all share the same sort of values. That family orientation of Julio being fourth generation, like I mentioned before, the fourth generation of wine producers. You know, so they share the same similarities, the same values of family, local traditions, the way they work to natural ways of farming. Some of them are certified. If they're certified, to be honest, like from an organic point of view, or Italian and biological, if they're certified, it's a bonus. I know my producers, and I know most of them are organic peppers anyway. Maybe they tick 9 boxes and they just haven't quite ticked box number 10 to get the organic certification. Maybe a simple thing like that. But what's more important from the Hidden Vines point of view is that all the grapes are local. We like to work with local grapes wherever we can. I say that with a little bit of hesitation because we're drinking bloody Chardonnay. But it's a great example of a Chardonnay, which for me, I will make an exception for, because as we know, there's exceptions to every rule. But local indigenous grapes, indigenous being the important word, grapes are only found in those regions. For example, whether we're here in Piedmont with the beautiful grapes like Cortese is baby Gavi. A lot of people know Gavi wine is made using Cortese grapes. Me 7 wine is branded Cortese, a baby Gavi. A bit like Nebbiolo, we will sell Nebbiolo, which is a baby Barolo, because obviously it's just the winemaker has been sort of released it out into the wild before it's fully grown, before it's a fully grown Barolo. So it gets branded as a Nebbiolo. What's more important about those sort of wines is value for money. You don't need to spend crazy amounts of money to get great wines. The producers that I work with in Italy, whether it's Julio here in Alba in Piedmont, or whether it's the producers that we're going down to see in Campania, from the Napoli region, from Naples, that they're using their local grapes, their local, one of their local wines, for example, is Piano from the beautiful town of Avellino, which is about 50 kilometers east of Naples, up into the mountains. And that's what's great for Hidden Vines, for what we do with our producers. Local family traditions, ways of farming, and most of the time using their local indigenous groups. So I think that sort of covers, you know, what it is for every region. We work with most regions, even Molise. Have a Google on Molise. Molise is one of the smallest regions of Italy. It's one of the 20 regions of Italy. It's almost in between the north of Puglia and south of Abruzzo on the east coast. Puglia being the heel, everyone knows that Italy is the shape of a boot. So Puglia is down in the heel, and it's sandwiched to the same thing, Puglia and Abruzzo. The little beautiful region of Molise each of the regions, I say, have their own special grapes. Grapes that some producers got rid of years ago. Why? Because they're a pain to work with. I nearly said something else then, but they're really, really hard grapes to work with. And I'm going to give you 2 examples before I pass you back to Michelle. One is called Susumagnano. Susumagnano is a local red grape in Puglia. We've all heard of Primitivo, or as the Americano call it, Zinfandel. The Primitivo originates from Puglia, but they have a beautiful grape called Susumagnano, which is an old grape which a lot of the producers got rid of. That was one example, and I suppose back to the north, back to the Veneto region, from Venice and Verona, is Orsoletta. Orsoletta grape is fantastic, very old, vintage grape. So there you go, guys. I'll pass you back and enjoy the rest of the summer.
I have a question. Are any of these wines available in Canada, Michelle?
So that's a good question. Julio, they want to know if they can buy your wine in Canada. Not yet.
Oh, yes.
Not yet.
If they go to Miami,
Yes.
We'll be working on that. Let's just say, we'll be working on that. Brian and the other producers, we've been working on about these specific wines in. And, you know, there are so many. I don't, as I said, that there's tiny little vineyards, and unfortunately in Canada, we see this much of what is available. More than anything, we want to educate people on understanding about where it's from, what that producer has done, and where the quality of it. We also have a mixed perception of price. One of my favorite wines that I've had from here is it's 10 euros a bottle. And I got one that's 40 a bottle. And trust me, it's not necessarily about price, it's about taste and perception. So what I say is to learning about it. That's what's more important than anything, is understanding. And wine is personal. So there's that was probably one of my favorite pieces that I've covered in the last few days. Because of the way Trump Festival, I will shoot the video afterwards. There's a huge wine tasting and then all food tasting as well. It's a personal journey of food, or the personal journey of wine, and there's no right or wrong. It's really, if you like it, if you enjoy it, then it's really what it comes down to, not being as judgy. But if you are investing in a more expensive bottle of wine, my recommendation is know about that wine. Know about that. So if we're going to spend $30, $40, or $50 on a bottle of wine, or more, just make sure that you take the opportunity. It's not about the price tag, and make sure you check out who made it and why they did this trip has made me see a lot of that from a different perspective, and having the opportunity to spend a lot of time with the wine producers, learning more about why and what they chose. So I'm going to see if anyone has interest. It's going to be coming out soon, so we're going to be sharing the end. We're going to talk a little more about truffles and what's so important about this at the beginning. And I know some of you were not on, and there we go. We've got food driving. So there we go.
Yes.
And also the Vitalo.
How can you do
It's what it looks like.
Oh, it's a tartan.
Look at the top of it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's incredible.
oh, it's
We do
beautiful.
have stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
Think about what we're doing. So this is something that at home in Canada, wouldn't see much of. So that's raw beef,
Yeah.
but it's quality of beef. And then we've also got a slight shade of the white truffle that's been put on top of this. So I can say that this is going to be one of the most amazing things. This will be the second time I've had this inside the because it's just, again, a delicacy and something that we wouldn't normally good at home. So, and then Ryan, what's on your plate? Ryan, can you share what's on your plate? What is this?
Oh, that looks amazing.
Yeah, really, really amazing slices of fresh veal with that almost carpaccio style, but just lightly done. And the sauce they make, they call it vecchio gusto, with lots of bold flavors. It's a chef's secret special sauce that they put in the veal. They don't say the ingredients. I have a little fresh mini caper on top, capetti, baby caper on top. They give it that little bit of saltiness. But I'm really looking forward to trying.
Go ahead. Bon appetit.
It is. I just tried this.
I think it's
So for this, in the pipe,
yum. I want it.
it's even better than you might think it is. One of the things that there's a one of was the white truffle oil, and just a little bit of shaved white truffle in there. So that with the flavor of rich and authentic, honoring where food came from. And I think that is one of the most incredible things. I do want to say, I think Heidi, I'm in the kitchen. Heidi, is there anything else that I need to make sure I come back to your kitchen with you right now? Because I want to make sure I do that. And then Diane, I'm definitely going to offer an opportunity for you to wrap up what you heard. And as we have one more. So here's what's going on. We've got another bottle of wine to make. What are we having now? What's the wine?
The Nebbiolo from Blanc Abbey, the same. Chardonnay, 2019.
Is there a reason why we chose this one? Is there a reason why you chose this one?
It doesn't match the way we look.
So it's about the food and wine pairing. So Heidi, did I hear a yes to back over to your kitchen for a minute? I think Heidi was there and then she muted herself. Am I right with that? There she is. Heidi, you just need to unmute.
Heidi, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, this is the tiramisu. Finished. I prepared this last night. Any question?
Not the compliment. Beautiful, Heidi. Tiramisu. Thank you, Heidi. That was beautiful. That is. All right, I put back over to gallery view. As you can see, we have a red meat course coming in the different meats. So we started with the white, and now we're going to move over to this beautiful red. And I'm going to say this, Diane, what's some final comments from you? And if there is any other questions, it's He's a private video leader. And tomorrow we're gonna spend some time just with Julia, going through the winery and having some table talk, as we'll call it. It's like a little bit more of an experience we had. And they just like government. So tomorrow we're gonna take a little bit more down what really is the wine journey. That's gonna be environment. But I am gonna put Diane still there. And we'll take her whatever to Diane, and I realize Diane might be gone. And I think we're gonna be look at that. So next week, we have a Sunday. We're gonna be in April. We're gonna be at about 30. Next Sunday, the restaurant owner, Ryan, where are we gonna be next Sunday?
We are going to Tanyana Gourmet. Tanyana Gourmet is an amazing little restaurant in the town of Lino. I've explained before. Funny enough, I'm going to be down here making up our favorite best pizzas. We're going to go to a home cooked pizza and show you guys what we're going to be eating and drinking next weekend.
So tune in next, and we will be in the kitchen next week. So this particular one, we'll have an opportunity to get our hands into a little bit more. We're excited about that. But we just, we're so thankful that Julio and her friends took the time, and you took the time to enjoy our Italian lunch. It is absolutely amazing, I have to say. We've everything here. And we'll stay from our kitchen, my kitchen to yours this time, Mom. I know we're missing you. Good to see you, Mom, by the way. I will be excited to repeat these recipes at home. I love it even for definitely a meat supplier that we got. Maybe that's a good call out to our good friends at Woodrow Meats, India. And our table I'm gonna get my, and of course, unfortunately, to have lunch with these four incredible gentlemen. So we're gonna put a glass up and we'll say a final cheers and a ciao and say goodbye and say we see you all this Sunday in Naples. And I hope
I remember
that
one
we
time
take
we did this with
an opportunity to come and visit Roselle Winery.
in Europe. And one of the guys
It's
from Budapest,
every bit of coming here to do that.
from Romania.
And I know Ryan had mentioned that we're pictures now afterwards. The villa that we're staying in, if I stand on my balcony, I'm going to get the roof of the winery. Closer than where we're staying. And I know we've got a lot more food and wine pairing that we're going to be doing tomorrow. So we've had some challenges with some internet. So I apologize for anybody that's trying to get a hold of me. But I'm going to encourage the gentleman to say goodbye. Are you ready to say goodbye? Ready to say ciao? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Julio. We'll see you on our private tour of Rosella Winery. We'll be sharing. Nice to meet everybody. Ciao. Thank you so much for joining. Japan, Morocco. Oh, good afternoon. Hello, how are you? You all right? Love it. And Darlene, it's great. Like Vietnam. So the guys are amazed at how many people and how many countries we're here. So from my dinner table, your kitchen, get inspired. It's ancient food, and it's go where the farmers are. And Bible. Those are kind of the companies that are most preferred. It's support those local entrepreneurs and support those local things. Right, everybody? Ciao from Italy.